battle fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This piece is basically an edited version of a must-see video. I will put the link on my website as usual. I think this has to be a wake-up call. That's of course if you're concerned. If you just want to carry on drinking your Starbucks or Tim Hortons, well, good luck to you. For the rest of us, everywhere there is uncontrolled immigration. Areas and countries are changed and converted into clones of their own countries. Rather than integrating, they prefer to colonize and convert. So I ask this question. I've asked it many times before and I'll keep asking it until I get a sensible answer. Why do people emigrate from a country only to try and change their new adopted country to appear and respond to the culture and environment that they were escaping from in the first place? I, for one, and I don't think I'm alone, just find that strange. Please take a listen to this edited version and then watch the full video. It should open your eyes to what these politicians in all Western countries are really up to.
We have a divided country.
20, 30 years, something's going to happen. It'll take over eventually.
I think Blackburn will eventually become a completely Muslim Asian town.
Should I stay or should I go?
10 years ago, we filmed a religious parade in the mainly Muslim Asian area, Whalley Range.
It's the anniversary of the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, but not everyone's cheering. Some whites here feel they're being taken over. Morning.
Morning.
What do you think of it all?
Rubbish.
Rubbish?
Rubbish.
Why'd you say that?
There is a lot of friggin' rubbish.
Fast forward to today. The parade is significantly larger. Over a 10-year period, in this area, the white British population dropped by half. As a whole, Blackburn has a majority white British population, but over 10 years, their numbers fell by 10%.
Weeks of simmering racial tensions finally erupted last night as more than 500 Asian youths fought pitched battles with riot police.
Professor Ted Cantle was the government advisor who wrote the report into the riots. We spoke to him 10 years ago.
Certainly the separation between communities was a factor in those riots. There was no trust, no understanding between the different communities.
So has the problem of divided communities got better or worse since then?
Segregation in Blackburn is increasing in residential terms, in school terms, probably in social terms as well. I think it has to be seen as a warning for all towns and cities in the UK. I think Blackburn feel that the focus shouldn't always be on them, and actually they are right, because the statistics show that there are many other towns and cities where polarisation of populations is increasing.
In just a decade, there was almost a fourfold increase in the number of areas with a non-white majority. So why have communities become so much more separated?
We've been here for generations in this country. This is our country. So why do we have to justify every time somebody calls out Allahu Akbar?
In 2015, Dame Louise Casey was asked by the government to write a review into integration policy.
We are living with the consequences of not managing migration and immigration effectively. We've done a bit of it, but we haven't been on it to the degree that we need to do so. And I think we have a divided country.
The Casey review highlighted that over 10 years, the population of the UK rose by 4.1 million. More than half of that, the result of immigration. More than a year later, Louise Casey still hasn't had a response from the government.
I am disappointed, which is why I think it's really good that Panorama is raising these issues again. They're not only around Blackburn, these are national issues that we ought to be able to talk about.
Over the last decade, the issue that Blackburn's white British community has found hardest to talk about is the very visible social and demographic change taking place here.
As non-drinking Muslims have moved into new areas of Blackburn, one after another, local pubs have closed down altogether.
Well, it used to be the Dog Inn. What it is now, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It's some sort of Islamic centre, but I don't know what it is.
And the thing is, it seems to have been it's been quite rapid. And I think that's what frightens you a little bit.
They would say, I'm living in a country that doesn't feel like mine anymore. Well, in some areas of that country, that's true. You know, I wrote in my report, the pace and scale of immigration has possibly been too much. The Home Office were not happy with that language being used in my report, but I stuck with it because it's true.
Some parts of the country have felt the effects of immigration more than others.
It's been more or less a total close down in the Asian areas of pubs.
Why is that?
Because Asians don't drink.
One of the most divisive cultural issues affecting integration has been the wearing of the niqab, or full face veil. One of our local cabbies says he's noticed a dramatic increase over the last decade.
I think there's been a 60% increase. So, yeah, you know, if they want to wear a veil, yeah, good for them.
I have yet to meet any single woman or girl who said to me, I wear it because I'm actually forced to do it. What's the question, Ghazala?
Why do many people don't like us Muslim?
Interesting.
Many of Anjum's students wear the veil and have experienced hostility from local people.
Now I feel very bad because they speak very bad word to us.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's why I want to ask you how to respect all the Muslims.
Thank you. That's really upset you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me get your hanky. It creates a separateness between you and them. They want to feel comfortable within themselves. Is that really so wrong? Is it terribly wrong?
People dressed head to foot in black and we can't see their faces is just difficult for us as a culture. There's no way around it. And when that's happening at significant volume, we're uncomfortable with it. You know, if a man walked in here in a balaclava, I'd be uncomfortable with it.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio, and please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.